Hello, welcome back to Sunday Chats.
Hi. I'm actually working with two computers. I'll say the angle's a little weird today. On my computer side, it's angled down, tilted down.
Yeah,
I was working
it
on
really is.
I was,
Yeah.
let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. There we go. Yeah, because I was working on my work that I wasn't the best at on my work from home. So now I have to work a little harder over the weekend to get it finished because it's a self-imposed deadline. You know, I don't need
Right.
I only have like three more pages of text to
Hi,
transpose or
Christiana.
transcribe and hey Christiana. So anyway, I sold a bag today. Let me show you the bag that's leaving the nest. It's a very sad day. I put it on my community post. I put it on my Facebook. Luckily,
I saw.
I have a friend who uh, was looking for this bag. So it's going to go to Connecticut. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see
This
that
bag,
one. That's
this is
cute.
the Revel 24. And the reason I can let this go, now this is my birthday bag from 2023. This I paid $400 for this with all the interest payments, and I bought this new from Coach. And yeah, I'm releasing this bag, and I could release this bag because I have the Dooney Bitsy bag. Let me show you
Uh,
the Bitsy bag. Um,
that you're holding is one of the bags that I wanted because I tried to love the Alma BB and I had two of them. I had like almost brand new black one, the Nor with the silver
well,
hardware. I also tried it in a bean. Didn't I just Hi Jennifer.
so
Yeah, they're
I had,
close.
I
And I
had
had a Bitsy
Alma.
bag at one time.
I had the Alma BB,
Yeah,
and
me
when I
too.
got this, I sold the Alma BB. And when I have this, I'm like, okay, I need to let this one go. I have never used this bag, not one time. It's never been.
Oh,
I think because the thing with Coach is the straps aren't long enough for me. So for me to use any Coach bag, I have to use an extender on it. So this one, unfortunately, guys, is sold. Is sold. Okay. So I love the color. This color is called Sports Blue.
it's
It's
gorgeous.
fabulous. It is
Yeah,
beautiful.
I'm sure somebody got a really good deal, Jackie.
They got it for 300.
That's a
Ship.
really good
They
deal.
did. They got a good deal for it. And it's a bag they've been looking for, and they don't really release this color very often. Sports blue and fin blue are I think some of the prettiest blues Coaches ever made. But I'm letting this one go because I have this one in blue and in yellow. And this one I have used, and I love it. I love it. And the strap works for me. And apparently I like the contrast even more than this beautiful blue. So I just have to learn that Jackie, you are a Dooney girl at heart. Stop looking at some of these Coach bags. I love Coach Outlet and I love Dooney. So I need to
Right.
stop looking at Coach Retail. But I wasn't planning on selling this. This was a money emergency crunch time. So the lady who's buying this says, hey, I have this other bag. I'd love to trade with you. I'm like, yes, you know what? Any other time I would trade with you. I said, but right now I actually need the $300 to pay a bill. So
Right.
I'm so happy to sell this to you and for cash. And she says, well, I'm happy to buy it from you
I'm glad
for
that
cash.
you can find somebody to do that. It's excellent.
Well, I got lucky. I got super lucky because it's a niche, right? But let me tell you, Coach people are fanatics. I mean,
Yes.
they make
Some are.
duty
Yes.
people look chill. They make duty people and any other brand of bag person chill. Actual Coach fanatics, they are coachies. They're serious. Like they want perfection. They don't want a single flaw. They want every stitch to be perfect. They don't want to be really used. This is essentially brand new, never used. So she's like, I want that bag.
Yeah.
Now, if I had used it, they're like, oh no, I'm not paying 300 for that. You know, but
Right.
she's a true she's an avid collector, and she just found my channel because we're now friends because we actually have a friend in common that we didn't know, so she hooked us up. And then she was like, oh, and I said, here's the bag, here, let me show you the bag. And she's like, I just that she saw my channel, subscribed, and is now binge watching me. And her son says she's a bagaholic because she's watching my YouTubes, and
You're right.
I'm like, your son is completely correct.
Well, I've been busy the last couple of days because we now have backyard chickens. So, yeah. And we went we went to a place called Waldo, Florida.
Huh?
And we got the chickens there out of a backyard that hasn't seen grass, I don't think ever. Neither did the front yard.
Oh,
It was just awful. I mean, it was just
poor
dirt
babies.
everywhere. They had a few chickens running around, and then they had these younger ones in a thing. But we wanted three of the little bit bigger ones that are all about the same size, but one of them took off under the house. If you're getting more of an idea. And I think
She was like, nope,
this was more of a place where bathing was optional in household. And
water was scarce.
yeah. And
Water,
so
water
then
was.
she said, "Well, I'll just give you this little one because we can't catch the other one." So we're like, "Okay." Not realizing, they have them in separate pans. Well, I don't have separate pans. So I soon found out that, let me put their pictures up here. I soon found out, let's go over here. I put their pictures up here. Just, you'll get that Wilma and Betty are on the screen now. Wilma and Betty hate Pebbles.
Poor
Wilma and
Pebbles.
Betty are trying to murder Pebbles. And Pebbles comes running into my arms every time they start. So she's like a lap chicken. See how little she is? She doesn't have her crown yet or anything. And they hate her. So at night, she stays in that nesting box there that's separated from them, and they're sleeping on the other side of that green door behind her. And then during the day, she comes in the house because she's in the bathroom. So yeah, let's get Pebbles down. So next Thursday, Pebbles will be on the live with us. She's just,
Oh, Mean Girls,
yes,
right?
it's a very, very mean
Christiana.
girl situation. And I just got to give Pebbles time to grow. It is. It's a lot of
Just
stress for a
had.
bird. Luckily, the lady had been handling her, so she runs and comes to me when they're mean to her, and then she demands to get out of the coop, and so yeah.
She's like, excuse me, save me from these mean girls.
She's like, no. So they had gone to bed because they have an automatic door and a light comes on. And the first night we had to show them. Well, the first night Matt tucked him into bed like this. Get in there.
Well, you gave them a penthouse compared to what
They
they
have a
lived
penthouse.
in.
They have a light. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have a light that comes on and then they go upstairs and they go into the roost.
I mean, compared to the dirtless
Tonight
yard they came
it went
from.
in like they went in like clockwork.
They're like,
They
thank you,
figured
let's
everything out.
go.
They were living just in dirt, just in sand. There was not a lick of, and she said there had never has been a lawn where they came from because it was under a bunch of shade trees.
Oh,
The trailer was
well,
under
that's
a bunch
very
of shade
healthy.
trees, and then the chickens were running under the house and running back.
Huh.
Yeah, I tease him. He
Birds.
said he tucked the chickens in.
Hey, you have to. They attract predators just by their existence. So,
Yep,
you know,
they got to be
they
in the
have to be
box.
housed. Yeah, they got to be housed. It's like away from, have they ever laid eggs before? I think
No,
they're brand new.
they're just getting to the age where they're going to start laying. They have access to a roosting box during the day, but these two have not laid yet. They are, yeah, They're just they're just starting to get to the age where they'll start laying. They're not even completely full grown, even though they kind of look like it.
Hmm. Open pizza
Yeah,
at KFC.
it's awful. Yeah, so
Anybody actually
she's
watching the
getting,
game?
I'm not, she's getting a harness and a diaper, so she will be able to go on walks and outside away from the mean girls. And she will, because she has a diaper, she'll come on the live with us on Thursday.
Well, how does your other half feel about the chickens?
Oh,
Do
he's
you feel like
fine.
this is good or this is the bad plan?
Oh no, it's all good. They're learning very quickly. They learned, how to use the ladder, which they didn't have access to that before. They didn't have access to like a clean, dry nesting. They had a place, but it was like an open utility room that they just kind of, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So we, but I'm not. No, that's not true. They were just in a big outside fence with nothing. There was no place to roost. And then the little
Mm-hmm.
one that you saw was on the ground in the middle of the backyard by herself with just chicken wire over her so she could just stand. So her little space was only about that high and about that big, like that little box she was in out in the middle of the yard.
Well, I
So
feel like you rescued them.
it felt like a rescue, I have to tell you.
That feels like a rescue. That feels like we saved the chickens. You know? So I've had a fun-ish, a bit of a difficult day. I had a weird thing happen today at church. So I haven't really been going to church for a while because it's been rough going emotionally, mentally, blah, blah. It's hard to, they always say when you're in your worst depressions, you should go and do
Hi,
things
Ed.
like church. And I'm like, but church involves people, and I don't want to actually be with people when I'm depressed, right? So we haven't really been, and I say we, I mean me. James has never really been that studious of a church person. And this will make sense to people who understand this. James and I are originally Episcopalian. And now that's a whole different type of church vibe, right? We are now part of the Methodist Church, and that's a more casual, a little bit more casual vibe than the Episcopalians. And then today our guest speaker was Southern Baptist. I definitely felt like I was at a revival. It was very strange. It was super evangelical. It was a very interesting day, but I was like, yeah, I need to go, and I don't consider myself to be super conservative, but apparently when it comes to sermons, I'm a little conservative when it comes to demonstration of like behavior. And it was kind of an interesting day. Yeah, Episcopalians, to joke with them, it's Catholic light, you know, because it only happened because, King Henry decided we wanted another divorce, so we became the Church of England. And then that American branch of the Church of England is, the Episcopal Church. So anyway, long story short, I went to church. I listened to this really cool missionary speak about his mission in Armenia, and it did put a lot of things in perspective because Armenian is that country itself is Christian, but it's surrounded by Islamic countries, right?
Right.
And so
Yes,
they
I
are in
wanted to
their
address that real quick. Yes,
what?
Ed, congratulations on your Fendi before this chat all goes way
Ah,
up. And really, Ed? Where'd you find it? Okay. Back to Episcopalians and the Armenians.
so the thing about, so they're in this, their family had been living in Armenia, and they, of course, and some of their neighbors they were part of Armenia, but they've been hijacked by the neighboring country, and all of a sudden every Armenian male over the age of 13 is conscripted into the military. This family has just been displaced, so they ended up hosting, because they're this missionary Christian family. They hosted a family of 11 people to be in their home. It's two different, actually four generations. It's grandparents, their children, their children's spouses, the grandchildren. So there's 11 people on top of their four people, and they're talking about the experience of how they've been displaced, and they lived with them the first time for 9 months, and then after that, um, they were able to go back to the the next nearest town that wasn't taken over. Well, then that one got hostile takeover. Geography and war has always been about resources. So this other country wants this land. This little country says we're going to fight you, but they didn't win. They lost. Okay, they were on the losing side. So again, they get displaced. They're to move back in with this one church family, and then I'm sitting here thinking about poor Lois Jackie, my poor life, and I'm like, you know what? These poor people are living in a war zone. This one family has uprooted their house. In her lifetime, the grandmother has restarted from nothing 4 times because of displacement. So I'm sitting here thinking, I'm sitting at poor pitiful Jackie, all of our issues, poor Willis, me. I'm like, I'm not living in a war zone. I'm fine. I mean, I might feel like I'm in a war zone, but there's not bombs dropping in my house, right? So
Right.
I was like, it kind of put things in perspective, but still, it's very weird to sit down and listen to people talk about another culture the way they are, because even though Armenia is culturally Christian, they were former Soviet Union. So in the former Soviet Union, uh, they had very your value to the state is what you can provide and do your duty and your ability to do, right? So they have a very cutthroat look on children with disabilities, and there's a lot of abortions if you have children that test to have a disability. Now, this is common also in some of the other current communist countries, but so it's a normal thing because they look at the value of the person. What can the person give the state, not the value if you are alive, right? So a lot of the orphanages that they go to in this place, they're all special needs kids, because there's no place for them. And it's interesting to listen to these missionaries talk about this. And it's so vastly different than America. That's like, whoa, because we just think all life is important. And yeah,
Right.
even if you have a child with a disability, you still do everything you can to just help them and live a life because they're a living being. So that was kind of interesting. I didn't talk to James about it yet because we haven't really talked. So it was definitely a weird day. Because I was telling my friends and stuff, but it's nice to hear other people's perspectives, especially when they're out in another country, living as a foreigner, living as an American in a country that is so far, far, far away, remote. You know, they are in the middle of a lot where they live. So anyway, that was my morning.
Laurie just
I can't see
texted
that.
me, so I told her I was just showing you the top.
Lori, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Lori. So
Laurie
this
just
one,
texted me because she sent me a gift for inviting her on the live, and I'm gonna open it on here, but I'm letting her know that I'm doing it
mhm.
in a
Oh, so Ed
few.
says he got an amazing deal on eBay from one of my Facebook Japanese
Mm-hmm.
sellers. It was an auction, and I won it for whoa!
275.
Wow, you are amazing, Ed. You are amazing. You
Yeah.
should be my personal
This
shopper.
while you were telling your story, this is what was going across the screen. Can you
Oh
read it?
yeah, that's pretty dang. You know what? After that live that we did with you guys, Jolie, about the pochettes, when you showed your pochettes,
Uh-huh.
well, Ed went and bought one. Well, so did Ravi.
Oh,
Ravi was
really?
looking at
Yeah.
she had been wanting one for years and years and years and years and years, and she said, "You know what? I'm just going to do it because Craig says it's not going to get any cheaper. They're only going to go up
No,
in price."
and that was an
Yeah.
excellent deal that Ed got. And I wonder how
Yes.
much Ravi got hers for.
I
Hi, Apple
don't. I think he
Blonde.
told me, but I don't remember. Um. So yeah, so anyway, so my morning was that, and then after from my church going moment, I went over to the pawn shop to sell the last bit of my gold. So this is the only real gold stuff I have left. This one chain and this one teeny tiny little cross. Um I wore this cross for like a year, and then I broke the chain it was on because I am not graceful. So this will last until I break this chain, and then I'll go sell it because you know what? I'm over it. So like this over here, this is sterling silver. This chain is stainless steel because I have broken so many sterling silver chains. I says I'm over it. I need to I need to just wear stainless steel. So
Jennifer,
I am,
we were talking about a Pochette Matisse.
yeah,
I'm not a
yes.
Pochette Matisse, a Pochette accessories.
Yes, accessories.
Uh, accessoire. But yeah, one of these.
Yeah. Oh, did you see what Ed just wrote? He goes, if it works out for me, I'll need a trifecta.
Right.
So yeah, so anyway, yes, I went to the pawn shop and I was hanging out in the pawn shop, right? Because it's the one pawn shop. There's actually two in our town, but it's a tiny little place, and most of the stuff. Hey, Keith, most of the stuff in the pawn shop, people pawn tools and TVs, and they were having a Super Bowl special and jewelry, whatever. It was kind of fun. But then as I'm sitting there talking to the nice lady, this other lady's trying to scope out my sale, and she's like, "What are you selling? How much is that?" I'm like, "Well, it's going to be in the case pretty soon. I'm selling it. I'm selling it." So then she's like, I leave the pawn shop, right? She's like, "Just miss," and I'm like, "Yes," and this is never a good sign. She says, did you sell that necklace?" And I said, "Well, yeah, and it's broken. That's why I sold it." And she was like, "But it was so pretty. I would have given you more than $18." It was the grams. It was or not the grams. It was the weight or something. It wasn't 18. I was given more than $18. So anyway, I said, "No worry about it. I already sold it. They're gonna melt it down." But it was so funny. I was getting poached. like,
Yeah.
like I don't think. And but the thing is, this lady, she bought a um purple Michael Kors bag that was on the wall for $30. And if she hadn't bought that bag, I would have bought that bag. Because I would have been like, "Oh my god, that's such a cool bag." So she bought two Michael Kors. A lot of people go to. As I'm telling you, Michael Kors is still very popular in a where I live. Where I live, Michael Kors is still the thing. So if it's pawning for $30, they probably bought it for 10 or 15 from whoever sold it, right? Or it went into pawn and they didn't pull it out of pawn. So then it goes into the sale. So yeah, there's just kind of interesting.
Keith's
Oh,
already got her
he says,
pegged. She's the type that runs to the carts at Goodwill and starts grabbing stuff for the staff. Could put the
yeah,
items on the shelf. Yes.
yep. Laurie, hello. Um, oh,
Hi,
we went
Laurie.
to
I haven't done
Panda.
it yet. Jackie, do you have
We went to,
anything to open or show?
I do, but I'll let you go first.
No, I'm gonna let you go first. We're gonna make Laurie hang
Okay.
out.
So I went to the pawn shop, sold some stuff I'm never gonna wear again. And Jenny, my sister, was like, "Jackie, what did you pawn this time?" I said, "Well, do you know those earrings I bought XYZ years ago?" And she was like, "Yeah." So I don't wear them anymore because I have a double ear piercing now. So when I bought those hoops, it's for this pierced ear, this hole. So I don't wear hoops anymore because I wear double earrings, double studs.
Yeah, okay.
So they're never gonna be. I'm never gonna wear them again. So I'm like, you know what? I don't have heirs. I have no children. Let's just pawn these. And now, honestly, I wear sterling silver instead of yellow gold or even just gold in general. So, I'm very tough on my metals, and white gold turns yellow over time because
Yeah.
gold is actually gold. The only way to make it white is rhodium, so it's not exactly. So I'm wearing off the rhodium and the gold's peeking through is what's happening with that. So anyway, I drove home 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, "James," I came into the house. I said, "James, I'm going to the Disney store. Do you want to come with me?" And he's like, "Yes."
I'm gonna monitor
So
you.
yeah, he needs to. So I said, "Look, I pawned some stuff, I sold the stuff," and I told him what I sold. He didn't even know what it was because he doesn't pay attention. Jewelry I could buy left and right, and he'd never know it was new or old. He'd have no idea. So anyway, I go to the Disney store and I said, look, I have XY dollars. I'm going to use these dollars and then I'm going to put the rest in the bank. And so we were off doing that. So I knew exactly what I wanted because this bag has been haunting me. I don't need it. I don't need it. I just wanted it. And I kept visiting it. And it got down to $139. Um,
Wow. Oh, okay.
So this is normally a $300 bag. So it was down to 129 or 139. And then I also picked up a sweater for James and another die cast model. And I didn't need this because I have two other um DVC Dooney
Right,
bags. So DVC Dooney bags means these are all the Disney resorts. So normally to get these bags, you have to be a DVC member to get them off the shopdisney.com or at the Disney resorts themselves. But once
right.
they go to the outlet, anybody can buy them. But before that, you have to be a DVC member to buy it. So it's a perk of having a vacation club timeshare. But I just look at the cool pink. It is just so
It's really
it
cute.
screams it screams Florida. I just love
Turn
it.
it around. I want to see the resorts on the other side because I know all these. Oh, yeah.
Like look at the palm trees. I just love it.
Is the
So
contemporary on there or did they shut that down?
now the contemporary still let me see if I can find it. That's still a coppers. Okay. So there's the Grand Floridian, the Animal Kingdom, Grand Californian, Cooper Creek, Animal Kingdom, Polynesian Beach Club. They might not have that one. The contemporary,
Yeah, it's
contemporary,
the one the monorail drives through.
yeah.
The big,
The Contemporary is not a DVC lodge. It's not a DVC hotel. It's
okay.
just a regular property hotel. So these are all the DVC properties. Um, so as they add new ones, and I picked this one because the canvases were not all the same. So, well, the the layout of what's on here. So I picked this one because I really liked Beach Club, and I really liked the Grand Californian up here. And my favorite, we have been to a few of these resorts. We've been to,
Is that one in California?
yeah, that one is. It's
Okay, so
really
they've
hard to
got
get
all of the
into.
resorts. Okay.
Um, yeah. So this one is Animal Kingdom. We've been at the Animal Kingdom. We've been to, stayed at the lodge
Right.
at Canyon Creek or whatever it's called. We've stayed at Boardwalk and we've stayed at, I don't think it's on here actually. I don't think it is on here. We
I don't
stayed
think
at
Fort Wilderness is on there and the Contemporary is not
oh
on there,
yeah,
but
quite a few. Like Key West isn't on here, which is one we stayed at, and Saratoga. So this doesn't have all of them.
uh-uh.
See, now I get to tell my husband this is why I have to keep buying new ones because they're not on all the bags. But yeah, so this was $139 and I bought it. And
Keith
yes, I
says the
told
trim is
Julie to do
awesome
it.
because isn't it glazed in hot pink?
Yeah, glazed in hot pink with a hot pink interior, and it's just so cheerful. And I said, and it just would not get out of my brain. I just could not justify another $130 bag. So I sold jewelry, bought that, sold another bag. That bag is a sell. I'm selling to pay Bill because Bill is mad at me. You know, when you rob Peter to pay Paul, Peter doesn't want to get paid back. You know, because if Peter and Paul, Guido might show up. You know, so. Yeah, Karen, isn't it? Yes.
It
And they
is.
had the wallet for $70, but I didn't buy it because I was like, I can't justify. I cannot buy everything I want. I try, but I can't.
Well, Laurie sent me a gift, and I'm not sure why. She was thanking me for letting me be on, inviting her to be on the live, and it's just really, 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 really sweet. Now I haven't this. This is already. I can see what it is, and then this. I have a suspicion of what this is, but I got this note on top, so I knew not to continue. Can you read it? Here is a token of appreciation for having me on your live. Smiling cat. And then this one, I want to show her what she paid for because you never know. I have to read this one. I hope you enjoy your pen and ink. A little birdie with blonde hair helped me figure out your gifts from Smiling Cat
I know this
because
bird.
there's a big gap in the middle there, but you know, you can figure out what it is.
Uh-huh. Wow, their printer ink failed.
Yeah. So we're gonna open it. I didn't I opened this because I was afraid that if I opened this I'd see immediately. They wrapped it.
That's different. Normally you wrap it and
I
put it in a bag.
didn't know that they did that. I mean, I've sent stuff to people, but I didn't know they wrapped stuff. Okay, this is ink. Perfect. I need some brown ink because I'm lacking brown ink and I wanted brown ink. But wait till you see. I'm opening the box. Isn't it pretty?
Oh wow.
I don't know if I can get enough light behind it. Here, let's do this. Probably
It looks
blind
black.
everybody.
I believe you when you say it's brown.
Yeah. Hmm. Do something weird here. No, it's not going to show. Oh, there at the top, you can see the color.
Well, you can see it on the label.
Oh,
At
yeah.
the very base, you can really see the brown. Yeah.
I just love these bottles. They're so cool. And then the other thing is a pilot capless.
What is it?
It's a pilot capless. I'm so excited about this. I don't have one. I do have one on the way from Japan, but I don't have one like this. Well, I better not see if it's going to dump out first. No. Well, some of it did. It's a pen. You're all like,
Love pen.
what? This is a very magical pen. Let me show you. Let me catch up here. There's another note. Oh, good. I did get both notes. Thank you for paying extra. The bottles are so beautiful. Anyway, this is a very, it has stickers on it, but this is a special pen. You see how, you see how the pocket holder is upside down here? Where it hooks on? And then the way that you click it's down here?
Whoa,
Because
whoa.
this is a capless
That is
fountain pen.
brilliant. Do not put that in your bag.
Hell no.
But I love that. That is so, I've never seen a pen like that.
It's very exciting. It'll be in a video showing you how it writes. Anyway, thank you so much, Laurie. I'm very, 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 very excited. Thank you. What can I do to pay you back? Hi, Kim. Have you done the short on that Coach bag that you blinged out yet? Because that has to be done. That's a viral video. Brown ink. Yes. Very, very sweet, Laurie. Thank you.
Yay! Yeah. So then James and I, after we left it, that's so cute. I love those little sticker emoji things.
So do I, and I get them from you. So you need to text me more of them because on your phone you can get them, and I save them, and then I can do this.
Oh, I can do that because I love them. They're, I guess it's because I have a Samsung.
Well, you're very welcome,
I
and you
have
are
it ready.
invited back anytime. You could even join right now if you like. So can you, Kim.
She,
Anybody.
but she's cooking dinner though.
Yeah, she
So I
is.
I went to Panda Express for my food today, and I have determined I really only like the same thing. I tried adding something different to my dish, and I just ended up giving it all to James. I'm like, I don't like this, so I really only get the chow mein noodles with teriyaki chicken without the sauce. I just like the grilled chicken with noodles, and that's the only thing I get from Panda Express. But I always enjoy it. It's always very classic. Um, oh, Kim went to the Disney outlet. I did too. What did you get, girl? Oh, you didn't see it then. You did you see this, Kim? I sold some stuff to buy this, y'all. This is when you know you have issues. When I sold physical assets to buy a bag, I have issues. But you know what? You all love me. I can talk to you about it. You are my therapy girl.
Jackie, I swear to you, there was a time when I had so many Disney Dooney bags. So many. That's why I still had one left, one of my favorites to
Yeah,
send to you. Um, and one day I just sold them
however
all.
it.
Got over
Yeah.
it.
Well, there. Yeah. Well, that's the
Back when
thing.
I was
Things
your age
change.
is when I had them all. I had
Well,
Disney, Disney,
things change.
Disney.
Like your likes and dislikes and your
Hmm.
style changes. Like this is not the way I dressed in my 30s. I was actually way more formal, way more work, business casual, way more very boring. I'll be honest. I was super boring. Um, I was just like, you know, and now it's like I'm 45. I care not if you do not like my clothing. You do not have to wear it. I am wearing it. They did have that Dooney, but I didn't find no clothes in my size. I got my daughter a bunch of clothes. Oh no! See, that's the thing too. Like not every outlet's the same. So my outlet, we do get a lot of adult clothing, and I wear men's 2XL in most Disney stuff. If they have a 3XL, I'll buy it. But most of the time, most Disney clothing actually is unisex. Very few things are just for women. And the things that are just for women tend to be a type of cut more than anything, but just a standard t-shirt, they tend to be all very unisex, so I can just buy a 2XL Spirit jersey and it's going to fit. So, yeah. But I'm sorry, Kim, that you didn't have anything in your size, but your kid made out like a bandit. Yeah, so I wasn't this makes my third Disney Vacation Club bag out of the Disney um bags. And the I want to buy a bag when I go back in April. I'll show you a photo of it. I want to go get this luggage. And I told James, and I saw it at the in the gift shop at the Wilris Lodge. And I saw this and I'm like, I want, you know how some people want the Rowena or whatever that thing is called, or the, let me show a better picture. Here's a better. It's just you see how the corners have
Yes.
the capped corners, and it just has DVC markings, but the color is teal. It's one size larger than my smallest bag and one size smaller than my largest bag. So it's my medium sized bag, and this is $200. But this might as well be my Louis Vuitton Horizon whatever bag. This is my equivalency. This is like I saw this and I think stars and rainbows were in the air, and I was just staring at it like, that's so pretty.
It is. Well, I can't
And
really tell in that picture, but I will look it up.
let me see.
What's it's kind of like the one that the
Yeah.
bag only
So
it's
you have
okay.
so this one has you have to be a member to buy this. You have to have, or at least somebody has to be a DVC person to buy this at the gift store. And we're on it's on our account, so we can because we bought into the franchise. We technically own a piece of property with a whole lot of other people in Florida because it's literally a real estate. It's timeshare, y'all, timeshare. Um, oh, my sister.
She's texting.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Should I,
talk
can I
about two
call you?
videos that I saw today. Um,
Yeah.
they're already in the description box below, Please watch them after, or you can leave if you want to. But anyway,
What are they?
um, well, I really, really, really like Bernadette Banner. She's a
Oh,
historical
I love her. Yeah.
seamstress, blah, 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 blah. But her video today was about when you go shopping, it's called How to Identify Quality Clothing for people that don't know, like the quick ways to look at clothes and how to test them to see, like they didn't have a seamstress in their family or they don't know how to sew. You know what I mean? And how to read labels to see what you're getting
I should watch
and
it. I think I saw that pop up, but I didn't watch it. Yeah.
and then and it's really good. I mean, it's well, all of her videos are good. But and then also linked below is Abby Cox. And she's another historical. She usually does historical clothing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But she takes a deep dive into the Hermes bags. And the name of her video is When is a Bag Worth 12 Grand?
The bag isn't, it's the brand. You're buying the brand.
I know,
You're
but
buying the brand.
it's
We all
fun
know
to
that.
watch. It's
Oh
fun to
yeah, I'll watch
watch.
it. I'll watch it.
Somebody who's into the history of fashion, not into fast fashion. The same with Bernadette Banner. They're saying buy used, make your own clothes if you can, learn how to repair your clothes, buy quality
Mhm.
materials so that they'll last 20 or 30 years. You know, if you repair them, they're like that. So
Do you know, I think that there's
It's
a
fun.
resurgence. There's a
There is.
resurgence into this. The thing is, it's so sad. The saddest part about this is 20, well, I'm old now, so 25 to 30 years ago, you
I'm
could go
old
to
now.
Walmart and there was a huge notion section, huge
You can't get
fabric at
notions
almost every
anymore.
Walmart. You can't buy that anymore. And now Joann's Fabric is going out of business again. Hancock is already gone. All the other small places are gone. We don't even mill our own textiles in America anymore. Almost all our
It's
textiles are
getting
milled
sad.
in India. Yeah, so there's a lack of new um textiles. There's a lack of patterns because people don't sew or haven't for a long time. So the people coming into it now, they're actually not so much building it from scratch like our parents did. They're modifying pre-loved clothing. So there's
Right?
tons of videos of people thrifting, buying well-made clothes. It doesn't matter what size it is, and then modifying it to fit them. And it's the most fun videos. And those videos, I'll tell you from a content creator's point of view, those take a lot to produce. Those are not easy to produce.
No,
And I am
anything where you're
amazed.
making
Yeah.
something is,
Yeah.
like Rachel Maxey only puts out a video now every 2 weeks on her main channel because she makes stuff every single time.
Hmm.
So it's a lot. And another thing, if you didn't know, all of the remember the what were they called? The patterns that you could just go to Sears and you could go over to the pattern section
Yeah.
and you could
Yeah.
McCall's. You could
McCall's,
go through
Lowe's.
all the
Yeah.
McCall's patterns and just pick out.
Simplicity.
So simplicity, that's how we picked out our prom dresses. Well, I
Yeah.
didn't. I got mine in
Totally.
Fredericks of Hollywood because I was working. But my best
No
friend,
way.
yeah, she went to, you go to the simplicity section of your mom and you hand it to your mom
Yeah.
and she makes it. That's how it
We made
was.
Halloween costumes. I made
Yeah.
clothes. I still use patterns. Like my dad put us in a sewing class when we were 11 to
Hmm.
get us out of his hair. So I took sewing classes. I am very bad at actual sewing garments because the key to sewing
I don't
garments
think
is one,
I've ever made one.
you have to you have to pre-shrink your fabric. You never
Yeah.
trust the label. You make
Has to
sure
be
it's
ironed.
dye fast. Never trust the label. And then
No.
you iron it. And then as you're pinning and cutting, you iron
Again,
everything. I despise ironing. So I suck at making clothes
the
because
most complicated thing that I
I
ever made
can
was
iron.
when I was pregnant with my daughter, I made all of the bumpers and the
Yeah.
bedding and the curtains for her
Mhm.
room. But I have never cut a shirt or a dress.
Oh,
So
yeah. Yeah.
But I do have my sewing
I've
machine
made
and I would like
shirts.
to.
I've made shirts. I've made I like practical things. I made dresses, but I wasn't and I wore them for years, but I
Let
was
me
like
move you out of the way.
little Miss what's it called? Little House on the Prairie dresses. Like I was like nothing remotely fashionable. I
Going
like
the
your
wrong
shirt, by
direction.
the way.
Lori
Oh,
asked to see it. It's the Andy
the
Warhol.
Campbell soup. Yeah.
It's from Uniqlo. I like their t-shirts. They last longer.
Really? Because I have not, I've been in their store, but I have not tried buying any of their t-shirts. I always go look at their bags. I might try their t-shirts now because they have one in Disney Springs, so
Oh,
I
okay.
always go
I
into
would
that
like to go
store.
over there when I
Yeah,
come visit you, probably in
yeah.
April. Just kidding.
Yeah. Yes, please do.
Probably come visit you in April.
Please
Um,
do. I'll be there over the weekend this time.
I'll go
So,
into
you
Uniqlo.
know,
Yeah, they. I had a pair of Andy Warhol jeans when I was 4 years old, with tomato soup cans all over it. And actually, my
you know,
first word was tomato soup. It was
I
my favorite
didn't
when I was a
even
little.
know tomato soup was a thing until I moved to America after I was like 11 or something. I never had it, and I always made it with water. And my friend, we went to her house one day after school, and her mom made it like with milk. I'm like, what? It's like you make tomato soup with milk? And she goes, yeah. How do you do it? Water. So confused. I had
I
no idea.
know. When you start making it, oh, well, even the Campbell soup, we never mix that with water, honey. We mix that with milk. Somebody would
I
mix that
always
with
use
water.
water. We always mixed it well with water. I did because I never ate cream-based soups. I'm Asian. We drink bone broth soups. So it never even occurred to me to put milk or cream into a soup. You know.
Lori says, I have a story for you. My grandma put my inheritance necklace in a faux Campbell soup can, and when she passed, my uncle almost threw it away.
Oh my
No!
goodness. Oh my goodness. This is like the stories and lores of people putting money into coffee cans and putting them in the wall. Then somebody selling the house and somebody remodeling the house and somebody finding it. Yeah. Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
I didn't know. Like even cream of mushroom soup, I just assumed you made it with a can of water. I know what a condensed soup was. I didn't realize you were adding more milk to it. So I was like, okay, I
You
don't even make
could
my
add
macaroni and
water.
cheese.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not a rule. It says milk
Yeah.
or water. So you
Yeah,
can either have
I know,
watery
but
soup
it
or thicker
it,
soup.
it totally changes the flavor of the soup completely. Like when I tried tomato soup with milk, I'm like, well, this is different. I don't like it that way because I'm not
Right.
used to it that way. But
You're
my
used to
friends,
more the basil bisque kind of tomato
yeah,
soup.
yeah.
Yes.
So they would have their tomato soup with a grilled cheese sandwich. Well, I did not know this was a thing. I missed this as a thing. I'm like, what? This is a thing? So a lot of
Yes.
people like how the kids menus today at every kind of restaurant is chicken nuggets and like French fries, so that you have a whole generation of kids that only eat chicken nuggets and French fries. Well, there was a time when it was like grilled cheese sandwiches, chicken soup, or even um, tomato soup was if you're not feeling well, this is what you get, you
Noodle
know?
soup and
So when you're
crackers,
adults, yeah, so when you're an adult and you
applesauce,
don't feel
vegetable
good,
plates.
that's what you get.
Yeah, we didn't have chicken nuggets when we were little. That wasn't a thing.
No. And I mean, it's like, anyway. Um, so then we had Panda Express and we drove home, and then James and I both took a nap and passed out. And my poor husband, he's up now, but his days and nights have flip-flopped because of being sick. So you know how it is, like you feel better. So some people are different, but James feels better as the day gets longer. When I'm ill, I actually feel better in the morning and I feel worse as the day gets longer. But he's naturally a night person,
Right. Yeah.
so he likes to stay up, you know, you know.
Well,
He has
since
drainage,
you've
so when
been
you're
here, well,
sitting up,
this weekend we
uh,
added the cluckers and
yay!
um and planted 3 cherry trees since you've seen the orchard. And we put up a trellis. Matt planted the trees. Well, I helped a little. Matt put up the trellis. I helped a little. And planted a passion fruit vine, which is already like we weaved it into it because it's already, yeah. So out on that redneck lanai that we have, there's a
I
passion
love it,
fruit,
by the way.
the passion fruit growing up the side now.
I am actually been watching a lot of these beekeeping, or not a beekeeper, but she's a bee rescuer. Like people find hives and she goes gets the hives from wherever the bees are.
I want to learn to do
And
that.
I'm like, so I want to, and what they say is what we need to do to help the bee population is
Yeah,
actually plant more flowers. So I'm like, oh, I should plant some native flowers. So I do have a couple rose bushes, which I desperately need to prune, and this is the time to prune them. But I'm waiting for that cold snap to slip through so that I can prune them. And then I want to plant, and I don't know if you guys have these in Florida, but we have them here. They're called the Esperanza plant. It's a beautiful yellow
Esperanza.
floral. hmm Beautiful
Probably.
plant.
I don't know what that is, but
That's a
yeah.
colloquial name. It's called
Okay.
Esperanza. It's a beautiful flowering desert happy plant that has beautiful yellow flowers. And apparently, bees. What we need to do is plant more flowers. So poor James.
Right.
Eventually, I'm going to tell him we need to dig a hole in the yard to plant this, and hopefully it lives. Because
Yeah. Well, we have fruit trees that need to be pollinated. Well, some of them need to be pollinated. And then, well, of course, you have other things that need to be pollinated throughout your yard. So out front, um, I don't know if it was in bloom when you were here, but it's blooming every day now. We have a big flower bed out there to attract the pollinators. And
nice.
then there are some wild ones like Biden's alba is just a white um, weed that that attracts pollinators. We did a lot more than just the abbreviated version of what I told you, but
How does
yeah, we were
what does it
exhausted.
take to pollinate a cherry? How do cherry trees pollinate?
It
Do they get
depends on
the
the
wind?
species. We went for some that would grow here in Florida. One is a self-pollinator, and then we have two that have to be pollinated. So you just got to plant them close enough to each other, and your pollinators, the bee's job is to go from tree to tree. Luckily, here we don't have as many bees as we do butterflies, which do the same thing.
Butterflies,
So, but I
moths,
would like
right? They
to
do all
keep
that.
bees because, we might have to be finding our own honey here in the next couple of years. We might have to really be. Hope everybody's saving rice and beans in cans right now. That's all I'm saying. You're gonna need
Yeah,
it.
well, hmm. The other thing I've been watching because I know you now is I like watching these how to grow food from scrap vegetables, like when you cut
Hmm.
ends and stuff from your
And you
your
can
grocery
grow in
vegetables.
containers right in your yard, so it's not like you
Yeah.
have to make a garden.
Of course, um, I don't do that because you have to actually water plants to have them
Hmm.
thrive and live, and I fail at this. Anyway, James is the reason why our puppies are a nice, happy, long life
Well, James
puppies
will
because
water them.
he makes yeah, exactly, and that's why he says no plants inside because he
Right.
knows he's like I don't take care of plants because I don't want to take care of the yard. I'm like I know, so we have one indoor plant and I've had to repot it for 2 years now. I have the pot, I have the soil, and I still haven't repotted it. It's still trying to live, it's still living. Oh
Between
my
now
god.
and Thursday, I'm gonna try to train Pebbles to like be familiar in here. Maybe try to, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Can I use something here as a perch? I don't think this will work. She's not a real good percher yet. She's too young, but I'll hold her.
I've actually seen a chicken in the yard. They use these little round plastic cages that they zip tie
Oh, I know what you're
together, and then
talking about.
the
The
birds
chicken
can wander
balls.
the yard. Yeah,
Yes.
so that the birds can't other. other bigger birds can't come and steal them and
Well,
attack them.
see, the eagles around here, they would just take the whole cage. I mean, I would
Yeah.
like to get one of those, but I would be too afraid. She's going to start going out on a leash tomorrow evening because I
Who
can't
would
let
have
her.
thought?
What?
Who would have thought that that you getting 3 chickens meant you just got a new house pet?
I
You have two that will live in a coop, and you have one
know.
that's your new companion. This is
She's
what I'm
out in the
hearing.
coop
What I'm
now.
hearing.
She's just sequestered to the nesting box that has a door that closes so the other two don't kill her. I tried to, they say the best time to put the bird in is when they're going to, to get on their roost for the night and go to sleep because that's what they do.
Hmm.
So I put her in there and we have an automatic door and then a damn light came on. So they all started moving around because the light came on. Because obviously it's daylight now, right? Even though it just got dark 5 minutes ago, but it confused them.
Hmm.
So what do? They start attacking her. So I open up the back and I said, Matt, come help me. And she's like right there going, get me out of here. So I took her out for a while and let them, let the light go off. And I sat and rocked her on the porch while we waited for the light to go off. And the door was already shut to the outside. But inside there's a roosting sleeping area and a nesting
Hmm.
box. And there's a door between them so you can shut the nesting box at night because they usually don't lay at night. They lay during the day and you leave that open. So she doesn't have to sleep in the house. She sleeps in the nesting box, which is plenty of big enough for her. And then the other two are in the other side. So they can't get to her. But anyway, Jackie, I saw that yawn. I feel guilty. We need to let you go. You need to go get into bed.
So I just
I
need to
have
finish writing up these notes.
I have attached 2 videos below that I thought were interesting today, and one is called "When is a Bag Worth $12,000?" and it is a person who talks about fashion history, who is talking about Hermes. So I thought it was interesting. It's not that stuff's usually not on her radar, so I thought it was a really interesting video. Thank you for stopping by, everybody. Thank you for coming over, Jackie.
Always. See you guys later.
Bye.